Good morning. It's Friday, July the 4th. Here's what we're working on this morning. Lodge Care Home. A massive fire erupts at the former Emerald Lodge Care Home in downtown Hamilton.
Hate has no place in the city of Hamilton. We will not tolerate it. It is a cowardly act, and we are disgusted by it.
2 suspects are at large after a Hamilton business was vandalized with racist graffiti.
We're going to have a UFC fight. Think of this on the grounds of the White House.
You heard that right. The White House could host a cage match. Well, we're uncaged this morning.
Nothing could surprise me anymore.
Exactly. Oh, man.
You think there's going to be some alligators in the cage or around the cage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. We'll just watch from this side of the border.
Sure. Yes.
Yep.
Happy Independence Day to all our American viewers and friends out there.
Exactly. Yes. Yay, Friday. Yeah, we made it. Okay, let's talk about what we have today. The sun is up. The sky is blue.
Yes.
It's beautiful, and so are you, dear Prudence. Oh,
Dear
gee,
Prudence.
that was a flashback to the Beatles' White Album. Oh, gee. Funny how things happen on Fridays. Yeah, we're going to have a gorgeous day today. Absolutely stunning. High 20s as far as temperature is concerned. We should hit 28. Bit of a humidex around 31. But look out for a hot July weekend. 31 degrees both days. Tomorrow, a chance of some instability in the morning, and then it's going to get better as the day goes on. So, yeah, temperature at the moment, just double check it. Yeah, it's a cool start to our morning. 12 degrees at the moment. We haven't been there for a while, but lovely sunshine. We'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes. Traffic, we had a collision right there in the center of our screen in our exclusive camera. It is now cleared, so things are getting back to normal. That was Hamilton bound heading away from us, but all gone. Everything okay there. To our other MTO traffic cameras that I can show you. We'll start in St. Catharines, QEW Highway 406, nothing to see, so that's saying, oh dear, what a way to start the morning. QEW east of 12th, that looks good. We'll give you one more anyhow. Here's east of Royal Windsor Drive going through Oakville. It's pretty good this morning. So, weather and traffic, of course, coming up in a few minutes for you. Right now, the news.
Thank you, Brian. Fire crews are on the scene after a massive blaze broke out overnight at the former Emerald Lodge Care Facility in central Hamilton. Tessa Bennett joins us live from the home near Main Street and Victoria Avenue. Tessa.
Yes, so I'm here. The details right now are very limited, but we do know that the fire started around 1 o'clock this morning. There are a number of road closures in place. The road right now is blocked at Main Street and East Avenue. There's also closures at King and Emerald Streets. And as you can see, the fire is still being worked on. Numerous crews remain here holding the scene. Damage looks to be pretty extensive on the roof of the building. As far as we know, the building has been boarded up for a number of years, so it's unclear if there were any injuries just yet. Now, the cause is also unknown at this time. This was the scene overnight. Flames were erupting from the top of the building. Neighbors coming outside to watch things unfold. At least 6 emergency vehicles responded to the fire. And now Emerald Lodge is a former care facility here in central Hamilton, but the city evacuated the building back in 2020 due to unsafe conditions for its residents. Now, we've reached out to the fire chief and police for more information, and we're hoping to learn more as the information progresses. But for now, I'm going to send it back inside to you, Annette.
Okay, thanks very much, Tessa. Well, Hamilton police are investigating after a business owner on Barton Street East found hateful and racist graffiti on her front door. Rena Rampersad owns High Society Supper Club on Barton Street East, just across from the Afro-Canadian Caribbean Association, where she's a board member. The racist and hateful message written on her front door is associated with white supremacy and neo-Nazism. She feels targeted because of her advocacy work.
I can definitely remember, unfortunately, numerous times growing up where my dad had to repaint the side of the garage or our fence because somebody decided that they wanted to leave a message. This is not an uncommon story or an uncommon occurrence in our community.
Hamilton police are looking for 2 suspects who they say approached the business between 1 and 9 on Wednesday morning. They're asking anyone with information or security footage to contact them.
There were some tense moments at Hamilton City Hall yesterday where caution tape remains this morning aimed at stopping people from setting up tents. The protesters ended up moving just outside the taped-off area. Demonstrators, including unhoused residents and their supporters, were served trespass notices yesterday and told to leave immediately. The group set up camp in May after being displaced from tents along the escarpment rail trail. Now, some packed up and left after receiving the notice. Others say they're not going anywhere.
I'm not planning on leaving unless they can tell me where to go, and I don't think they can.
Every time I ask, where should we go? Where can I put up my tent and not be bugged? Oh, we don't know. They always say, oh, the shelters are always open. No.
CHCH News has reached out to the city for more information, but have not heard back.
Sparks from an RCMP trailer are to blame for a wildfire that's spreading this morning near Lytton, BC. Officers tried to put out the flames in a dry grass ditch, but they quickly got out of control. That fire has now quadrupled in size since Tuesday. It's now threatening the town of Lytton. That area of BC is trying to rebuild after being completely destroyed by a wildfire 4 years ago. Now, in northern Manitoba this morning, residents near Lynn Lake are being ordered out of their homes. There are fears a raging wildfire there could cut off access to the community. And in Saskatchewan, people in 5 communities near Lake La Plage are being evacuated. Closer to home, OPP in Haldimand and Norfolk have arrested 8 people in the last week alone for impaired driving. Some arrests happened during routine traffic stops, while others were made through a ride program. One arrest came after a crash on Indian Line near Six Nations of the Grand River. No injuries were reported in that one. Police say you should always call 911 to report any unsafe driver, especially if you believe they are impaired. The Ministry of Transportation is set to close 2 lanes on the Burlington Skyway this weekend. The work is weather dependent and it has been postponed a number of times. 2 lanes of the QEW Niagara bound are expected to close tonight at 10 o'clock and reopen at 5 on Monday morning. All ramps from the Eastport Drive collector to the bridge will be closed as well. 2 lanes of Niagara bound traffic will remain open, though, all weekend long. And Hamilton's Red Hill Valley Parkway is expected to be closed Sunday for a survey of the road. City officials say the parkway will be closed in both directions between Mudd Street and King Street for 12 hours, beginning at 12 a.m. on Sunday. The city says the closure is necessary for crews to complete a detailed topographic survey that's part of a design study. The Red Hill is expected to be reopened by noon on Sunday. A Hamilton arena that's been shut down since March is expected to reopen in the fall. Eastwood Arena near the Hamilton Port Authority was closed because of structural concerns with the roof. Consultants, though hired by the city, have deemed the building safe to reopen, but it needs more than $3 million in maintenance. The arena was built in 1959. It's being used mainly now for ball hockey, lacrosse, and by the Hammer City Roller Derby.
Sportsline, the Blue Jays were 8 games behind the Yankees on May 28th. But on this Independence Day in America, Canada's only Major League Baseball team has surpassed the evil empire.
And Springer drills it to deep left center. And he's done it again.
George Springer hit 2 two-run home runs to power Toronto to an 8-5 win over New York last night, completing a 4-game sweep of the Bronx Bombers. The victory, Toronto's 5th in a row, pushed the Jays into sole possession of first place in the AL East. Addison Barger had 3 hits, including a solo home run, while Chris Bassett struck out 9 batters over 5 2/3 innings to improve to 8-4. Aaron Judge drew his 23rd intentional walk of the season. That matches Mickey Mantle's 1957 team record. The Jays start a new series tonight when they host the Angels. Calgary hosted Winnipeg in the inaugural Stampede Bowl last night, and the Stamps made a statement.
Clarence looking to throw again. Far side intercepted. It's taken away by Moncrief. This is a dagger. Can you believe it? Pick 6 the other way. Second of the game for the Calgary defense. Not a flag in sight. And Calgary stampeding their way to a victory here against Winnipeg.
Derek Moncrief and Damon Webb each returned an interception for a touchdown, and Vernon Adams Jr. threw his first 2 passing TDs of the season as the Stampeders thumped the Blue Bombers 37-16. Both teams are now 3-1. The Tiger Cats will shoot for back-to-back wins when they visit the Argos at BMO Field tonight. Hamilton cornerback Jamal Peters says he's always excited to play against his former team.
I mean, I still always had that chip on my shoulder when I played in them. That's just me. You know, I just have this killer mindset whenever I played in them. Like, I don't never have a circle on my schedule, but whenever it's that time to play them, I always got to let them feel me and let them know how I'm going to do out that day for that game.
Hamilton is coming off their best game of the season, a 35-17 beatdown of previously unbeaten Montreal. After missing last week's game with a calf injury, running back Greg Bell will be a game-time decision for the Cats. Nikolai Ehlers is signed with the Carolina Hurricanes. The 29-year-old free agent winger has signed a 6-year deal that will pay him $8.5 million a season. The Capitals re-signed winger Anthony Beauvillier to a 2-year, $5.5 million deal. Defenseman Dmitry Orlov is inked a 2-year contract with the San Jose Sharks. It's worth $6.5 million per season. A week after he was dismissed by the Raptors, former team president Masai Ujiri shared a heartfelt thank you to Toronto while appearing on Good Morning America.
I love you, Toronto. I love you, Toronto, and it's a great part, great journey in my life, and it's time, you know, and great things come to an end.
The 54-year-old Ujiri was the NBA Executive of the Year in 2013 and helped the Raps win their only title in 2019. The Welland Jackfish jumped to an IBL best 14-6 after they beat Brantford 9-3 last night. Hamilton hosts Brantford tonight. The Niagara Ironbacks lost 9-4 against Jamestown. New York City FC beat Toronto 3-1. Forge FC hosting Vancouver tomorrow at 5 p.m. at Hamilton Stadium. And there are no more Canadians left in the Wimbledon singles draw after Burlington's Victoria Mboko and Montreal's Felix Auger-Aliassime lost their second-round matches.
Okay, 12 minutes after 6 o'clock. It is Friday, and it's a sunny Friday. It's a beautiful start. It's a touch on the cool side this morning. Temperatures below seasonal. We'll talk about the forecast in a sec. Quick brush through on traffic because there's nothing happening at the moment. It's pretty light volume, as you can see here at the 403 and Waterdown Road, doing fine in both directions. MTO traffic cameras. So I'll start at the 405 and St. Catharines. Very light volume through there. The Red Hill Creek still looks good. Nothing at Fairview. Even as you come towards us, Toronto-bound lanes coming towards us, and a little bit further along, you make the bend to the east and head into the sunshine. East of Royal Windsor Drive, still doing fine. Dixie Road through Mississauga. Yeah, it's pretty light right now. Okay, temperature this morning. As I mentioned, we're just a little bit on the cool side. We're below seasonal to start a morning here. Temperature right now, 12 degrees. The winds are light. The humidity has come down a little bit, so it's not quite as hazy in the sky this morning. And we do have a mainly sunny start for the day. Air quality risk for today is better than it was yesterday. Yesterday we were moderate risk. This morning and throughout the day today, we should be in the low risk category. What we have is a high pressure ridge, and the high pressure gives us the clearing trend, and that's what we're going to enjoy for the day today. And now you'll notice as that high starts to slide toward the east, behind it is a more southerly flow, and that's what's going to pull up the temperature as we get into the weekend. So it's going to be a hot weekend. We're going to be into the 30s with daytime highs both days, and there is a chance of some instability during the morning tomorrow. But today, sunshine, 27, 28 degrees. Humidex values generally in the low 30s for the day today, so not a bad day. Tonight, we will have clear skies for a lot of areas, but there's a chance of a shower or thunderstorm. As you go to the west, Hamilton, back into Guelph and Kitchener, other areas will have clear skies, temperatures 17 and 18. And then tomorrow, that instability will linger in the morning, so there's a chance of a shower or thunderstorm in the morning. Then we're going to see sunshine. Generally, tomorrow, the Horseshoe, 31, feeling like about 38, so it's going to be a sticky one for the day tomorrow. So out the door, 4th of July, it is mainly sunny, light winds, temperature on the cool side a little bit, but about 12 degrees. Long range coming up. Annette, Rick.
Thank you, Brian. Coming up after the break, we're going to say good morning to Emily. She'll have a preview of what's to come in Chit Chat. And Canada's exports to the U.S. fell again in May as the trade war continues. A big Good Friday morning to Emily Vukovic. What is coming up in Chit Chat this morning?
Good morning. The new South Park season has been delayed, and it's not because they're waiting for new content. Which is what I thought it was.
There's certainly so much content.
I know.
Totally, yes.
So much. We'll tell you why. And Oasis is set to perform for the first time in 16 years. Concerts start tonight, but not here. And children's TV pioneer Sherry Lewis is profiled in Sherry in Lamb Chop.
Love Lamb Chop.
Like Lamb Chop created sock puppets. You know, like Lamb Chop was the original.
The OG?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh. Now
I would think. I could be wrong, but I feel like kids all over the world, after she whipped out Lamb Chop, were like, all right,
let's make our own sock puppet.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Emily. Let's take a look at the markets this morning. The loonie down 7 basis points to 73.57 cents U.S. Gold is up more than $9 an ounce. And crude is down 35 cents to $66.65 U.S. a barrel. In midday European trading, markets are down in London, Frankfurt, and Paris.
In Asia, markets were up a little bit in Tokyo and Shanghai, down slightly in Hong Kong. North American markets, strength in tech stocks helped the TSX finish 164 points higher yesterday. Canada's main stock index is trading above 27,000 points for the first time. The Dow gained 344 and the Nasdaq added just over 200 points. Of course, Wall Street will be closed today for July 4th.
U.S. President Donald Trump says he's going to start sending out letters soon to trading partners outlining what tariff rates they'll face.
We're going to start sending letters out to various countries starting tomorrow. We'll probably have 10 or 12 go out tomorrow. And over the next few days, I think by the 9th, they'll be fully covered. And they'll range in value from maybe 60 or 70% tariffs to 10 and 20% tariffs. But they're going to be starting to go out sometime tomorrow. We've done the final form, and it's basically going to explain what the countries are going to be paying in tariffs.
Prime Minister Mark Carney says he wants a new Canada-U.S. trade deal in place by July 21st. And if that deadline isn't met, Carney says he will boost Canadian trade countermeasures.
Now, the United States has lifted its chip restrictions against China. It comes after a new trade deal was finalized last week in London. Under this deal, the U.S. agreed to lift export curbs on chip software, while China would approve the exports of rare earth minerals to the U.S.
Canada's trade deficit shrunk to $5.9 billion in May, down significantly from a record high of $7.6 billion in April. According to Statistics Canada, this is likely due to Canada's efforts to expand trade beyond the United States. Still, economists are warning that it may be a long road before Canadian exporters settle into a new normal. BMO economist Shelley Koshik says the U.S. remains our biggest trading partner, so as long as there's uncertainty at the southern border, the economy will take a hit.
Canadian vehicle sales were up year over year in June, but they're still showing slowing momentum. DeRocher Automotive Consultant says there were an estimated 178,000 light vehicles sold in June. That's up 5.3% from the same time last year, but down from previous highs for June. DeRocher says the Canada-U.S. trade war combined with rising unemployment have made the market difficult. They add, though, it's as strong as it can be, despite the circumstances.
If you drive a Nissan, you want to pay attention to this. The automaker is recalling nearly 38,000 cars in Canada due to a bearing issue that could lead to engine failure. Affected models include the Nissan Rogue, Altima, and Infiniti models QX50 and QX55. A spokesperson says owners of the affected cars would be receiving a letter by August 22nd with instructions to bring their vehicle to a Nissan dealer or Infiniti retailer for inspection or repairs.
Okay, coming up on 6:21 right now, we're taking a quick break, and Brian is going to be back with your traffic and your 7-day forecast. It's a great one for the weekend.
24 minutes after 6 o'clock, beautiful sunny 4th of July morning here. Looking at our MTO traffic cameras, first of all, we have no volume at all going through St. Catharines, but we'll start there. Here's the 406 just south of the QEW. Still moving nicely across the Burlington Skyway Bridge, Toronto bound towards us. Still okay here east of 4th. Ooh, Woo, boy, we're really dragging down now as you're coming through Mississauga. This is the QEW at Lorne Park heading toward Mississauga Road. So Toronto bound obviously towards us on that camera. No reports of any collisions. 403 Eastgate Parkway, no problems going through Mississauga at all so far this morning. Temperatures, Hamilton definitely below seasonal, sitting at 12 degrees. You'll notice that cool air as you step outside this morning. 12 degrees, but 15 Toronto, Mississauga, 17 right now into Grimsby. Seasonal overnight low for this time of year. Why I call it cool is 15, so we're below that. 26 for the daytime high. Those are our sun times. Records for today. Yeah, we got 34.5 in 2012. Sticky one that day. But today, beautiful sunshine, but not quite as hot as that. 28 degrees today, feeling like 33 when you factor in the humidity. Tonight, 18. There will be chance of a shower or thunderstorm that could just linger into the early part of the morning tomorrow, and then we're going to see some sun. 31, feeling like 38 tomorrow. Same temperature on Sunday, but gorgeous sunshine. Then we get some instability. Temperature comes down to the mid-20s, 24, 25 degrees as we go through next week with chance of some showers for a few days. That's your forecast. Annette, Rick.
Thanks, Brian. Zoo animals across Europe are chilling out, quite literally, during a lingering heat wave.
Ah, that must feel good. Temperatures reached 37 in Germany this week, the hottest day of the year there so far. Polar bears were splashing into their pool to chase floating blocks of frozen treats.
Yum.
Not far from the polar bears' enclosure, zookeepers used garden hoses to shower the giant tortoises and the emus, who all appeared to be enjoying that cooling off period because, yeah, the temperatures, they're reaching like 40 degrees in Italy and Spain and France. And of course, so many of those areas, they don't have air conditioning.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't traditionally been that hot.
That's right. And these animals, you can tell, are just loving the sprinklers. What is this?
A lolly.
I can't imagine being a polar bear, though, in this extreme heat.
Ooh, yeah.
You talk about two extremes.
Yeah.
Wow. Coming up, more news, weather, and traffic after the break. Stay with us. Yeah, that'd be quite hot.
Very good.